What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Friday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Conium. So who stayed up to watch the entirety of the hockey game last night? I went to bed halfway through overtime, and had I not done that, I would have been awake for like 3 more hours. The 6th longest game in the history of the NHL. Florida Panthers win Game 1 at the tail end of the 4th overtime. That is absolutely insane. The game goes under. So it's always a bummer when you have a bet that's an over, and then it goes into overtime, and you know there's only possible for one more goal to be scored. So I did do something I don't often do yesterday. Was I added an official play, a same game parlay, because I was frustrated with 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So I threw a same game parlay up on Twitter and on Instagram that hit. It was a plus 220. Which was great. Had the Lakers plus 8.5, Austin Reeves over 19.5 points, rebounds, assists, LeBron James over 34 points, rebounds, assists, and Nikola Jokic over 44.5. Easily covered all the props. Lakers almost blew that at the end there. They lose the game, but they covered. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now. I've got the Lakers on a plus 1,800. Can cash that out for essentially to break even on that bet right now. Do I just put money on the Nuggets because I've got a plus 1,500 on the Heat and they're ahead? So not sure, but we missed the over. The Blue Jays. I'm just brutal at betting baseball right now. I do have a baseball bet today, but I don't know if I'm going to. I've been adding baseball bets to my personal card, which I might refrain from for a little bit. The Blue Jays, man, I don't know what they're doing, to be honest with you. And we did hit the under in the Nuggets-Lakers game, so I had that game pretty good. I knew that game pretty well, so it is what it is there. With the parlay hit, it ends up being up 0.75 units on the day, which is great. So let's get into today, and we're going to start in the NBA where we've done well. We've got the Heat and the Celtics. This line, the Heat won Game 1, and now they're plus 9.5 underdogs. Eric Spoelstra is not going to have the Miami Heat lose by double digits in this series. Boston, I've not been impressed by Boston at all. They were the odds-on favorite to win the whole thing with Milwaukee. I just haven't been impressed by them. You look at Boston recently, they lost 123-116. They won the final 2 games against Philly. Then they lost 2 games to Philly. They lost a couple games to Atlanta. I just haven't been impressed. I think Joe Mazzulla's in over his head. I think he's got a team that's just a little bit too inexperienced, even though they went to the finals last year, versus guys like Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Udonis Haslem. Can't be understated to have him not only on the bench, but in the locker room as well. And to have this at 9.5. So Miami won Game 1. And then when you want to look back to the regular season, Miami won 98-95. Miami won 120-116. They've won 3 straight games against Boston. They lost by 13 in November, but previous to that, they've only lost by 7. They've lost by 4. They won. They lost by 8. They lost by 8. They're not getting crushed by Boston, and I just think Eric Spoelstra is too good of a coach. I think Jimmy Butler is too motivated. And I just don't think Boston is good enough to blow them out of the water in this series. So I'm sticking with it, man. We took Miami plus 8.5 in Game 1. They won the basketball game. They are, let's have a look. I'm going to sprinkle some money line too, man. They're plus 335 at Caesars. Miami Heat on the money line. Throw, a quarter unit down on that. Why not? But officially give me the Miami Heat minus or plus 9.5. That is minus 115 at BetMGM. 1.15 units. Shifting to hockey, Stars Knights. This is Game 1. This is a coin flip game. No matter which side you take, you're essentially getting even money. I'm going on the Dallas Stars side. I got this at Sports Interaction yesterday for plus 109. I got a 2-unit free bet, so I'm rolling with that. But officially just make it 1 unit. But it's already down to, it was at plus 109, it's down to plus 100. So again, you're going to get plus 100 on either side. Not a lot of analysis here aside from the fact that Dallas has won the last 4 meetings against Vegas. They won 2-1 in a shootout, 3-2 in a shootout, 4-0, 3-2 in a shootout. And then previous to that, they lost by 1. They lost by 1 in overtime. They won by 1 in overtime. These teams play extremely tight against each other. So Stars are 4-0, like I said, in the last 4. The under is 4-1-1 in the last 6. Under, I don't think, is a terrible bet based on what we saw last night. Underdog is 6-2 in the last 8 meetings. Look, I'm just rolling with the Dallas Stars. We saw what happened last night in Carolina where the home team lost the game. Could that happen again? I don't know. I haven't been doing great. I've been cold aside from the parlay yesterday. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So if you want to take Vegas, man, I can't fault you. Vegas is 29-17 at home. Dallas is 28-14 on the road. I like Ottinger a little bit more than I like Hill. Ottinger is 45-14 in the regular season. His goals against and save percentage are very similar to Hill, but he played, 27. He played almost twice the amount of games. So I'm just going to go with that experience there, and I'm taking the Dallas Stars on the money line for plus 109 at Sports Interaction. And your last bet of the day, as I said, I've been terrible at baseball, but who's even worse at baseball than me? The Oakland A's, okay? Oakland A's are 10-35. They're about to enter a road series against the Houston Astros, who are 24-19. On the run line, Oakland is 17-28, and Houston is 21-22. Anytime you can get the Oakland A's to lose on the run line for better than minus 130, just do it for the whole season. Getting minus 118 on the run line is essentially taking a money line bet, and you're getting the Houston Astros. Astros are 11-11 at home. Oakland is 5-15 on the road. Going to the Hill for Houston is Belak. He's 0-1. He's got a 3.29 ERA. Going to the Hill for Oakland is Waldichuk. He's 1-2 with a 7.02 ERA. Athletics are 4-0 in his last 4 grass stats. Such a silly stat. I don't understand that. How could they be 4-0 in his last 4 starts when he's 1-2? Anyway, they're 0-5 in his last 5 road starts. So he's been better at home. Houston is just the better team. When you look back at how these two teams have played, Houston just won 11-2 last September. They have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the last 8 games against Oakland. So not a lot of analysis here other than Oakland Athletics are terrible. They're going to be the worst team in baseball this year by a country mile. And you're getting their run line at minus 118. That's at Betway. So I'm going to put 1.18 units down on that and take the Houston Astros on the run line. A little bit of a simple card for a Friday. We're just trying to get right, trying to get back in the green. Taking the Miami Heat plus 9.5 for minus 115 at BetMGM. Taking the Dallas Stars on the money line plus 109 at Sports Interaction. And I'm taking the Houston Astros on the run line for minus 118 at Betway. As always, drop a comment if you're fading or following. You can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Connie for more picks and props throughout the day. TikTok and Instagram for just the picks portions. And your audio is on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Let's have a great Friday. It's a long weekend. Let's go. Let's talk sports.